Okay, so guys, we're talking about the poem Out Out by Robert Frost. I'm just going to read it first of all for you. The buzzsaw snarled and rattled in the yard and made dust and dropped stove-length sticks of wood, sweet-scented stuff when the breeze drew across it. And from there, those that lifted their eyes could count 5 mountain ranges, one behind the other, under the sunset far into Vermont. And the saw snarled, as it ran light, or had to bear a load. And nothing happened. Day was all but done. Call it a day, I wish they might have said to please the boy by giving him the half hour that a boy counts so much when saved from work. His sister stood beside him in her apron to tell him supper. At the word, the saw, as if to prove saws knew what supper meant, leaped out of the boy's hand, or seemed to leap. He must have given the hand. However it was, neither refused the meeting. But the hand. The boy's first outcry was a rueful laugh as he swung toward them, holding up the hand half in appeal, but half as if to keep the life from spilling. Then the boy saw all. Since he was old enough to know, big boy doing a man's work, though a child at heart. He saw all spoiled. Don't let him cut my hand off, the doctor when he comes. Don't let him, sister. So, but the hand was gone already. The doctor put him in the dark of ether. He lay and puffed his lips out with his breath. And then the watcher at the pulse took fright. No one believed. They listened at his heart. Little, less, nothing. And that ended it. No more to build on there. And they, since they were not the ones dead, turned to their affairs. So, the poem is quite tragic in a lot of ways. It's about a child who is doing a man's work. And the title comes from the Macbeth speech, Out, out, brief candle, life is but a walking shadow who struts and frets his hour upon the stage. And it's one of the most famous speeches by Macbeth. But Frost uses it here to show how tenuous life is, how our grip on life is so fragile. It's an onomatopoeic opening line. And we're introduced to the buzzsaw that rattled into life. And it gives the impression of a busy, dangerous atmosphere. Long, flowing, descriptive lines paint a picture of a place full of menace. There's juxtaposition of beautiful scenery and hard work of the yard. Colloquial language transforms into jagged, personified language. Leaped or seemed to leap. The jagged teeth of the saw as it seeks its prey. And the ending is chilling and poignant, since they were not the ones dead, turned to their affairs. So the narrative tone swings from the calm of the countryside to the aggression of the saw to the sobering of the ether. And then, of course, Frost's own dismay at the loss of the young life. So the title, as I said, comes from the Macbeth speech, but the use of the dash at the end highlights the ongoing nature of life, I suppose, the circle of life, that there is never one clear end and everything just continues on. And that's highlighted then in that final line, since they were not the ones dead, turned to their affairs. So Frost is highlighting how the circle of life essentially continues regardless. So the reason why I wanted to look at this poem at the first was because of some interesting views that Frost shows in it. And there is a horrifying subject matter. It highlights again how tenuous our hold on life is, and those long flowing descriptive lines paint a vivid picture. We can see the scenery, we can see the busy yard, we can picture the boy. It's a place of menace where there is work to be done, even for a small boy doing a man's job. But there is beauty among the noisy, dangerous yard. The sweet scented stuff when the breeze drew across it, that smell of freshly cut wood. And sibilants and assonance highlight the slow growth of nature,